どこまでもあなたの波に揺られてる
Hey guys, how's it going? All right, good. I think we're in. We're in. Is this? Yes, we are in, folks. We are here. I am here. You are here. I think. I think I'm here. Are you really here? I don't know. I don't know. Let's see here. Oh, I got 3 people on Twitch, but oh, there's one. Okay, so it is working on YouTube. Wonderful. Oh, active research. Aha! Very perceptive. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's both, isn't it? Yes, 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 yes. Sometimes it's both. Sometimes it's one of those. They're often connected in many ways. I would say, but not necessarily. So it's interesting. Yeah, this is something definitely worth discussing. Why is my what is going on? There's like something's making my nose like run, but I'm not sick. It just started right now. It's like a smell. I think it was because like I barbecued something like a little bit ago, and the smoke like fucking hair. The smoke got like got my sinuses going, so that's fun. Let me see here. Okay, okay, cool, cool. Snot ghost, yes, yes. You cannot trust your eyes, correct? Me too. Melee is right. You cannot trust your eyes. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, okay. Music's good, not too loud? I don't think so, right? Man, I love this song. Such a this good fucking song. It's, was it, something like, that's Tokyo or something? Anyway, the playlist I'm listening to is this one right here. It's got some incredibly good tracks. Here, I'll just post it in the chat for those that want to listen to it full blast later. It's really, really good. Really good playlist. If you like Japanese alt rock, kind of like somber themes, yeah, it's good shit. Anyway, okay, cool. All right, so it looks like we're running here. All right, so welcome to the Tuesday show. Ha ha. What is it? Show podcast? I don't even know what it is that I do. It's not really. That's the confusing thing about like what I do here. Like I don't really. I'm not. Sometimes I talk about my life, so that's kind of vloggy. But then sometimes it's just some topics that are relevant to mental health, schizoid PD, schizo-spectrum, sometimes autism spectrum, just neurodivergency as a whole. Sometimes it's talking to people on the server and we have discussions about this stuff or other things of a topical nature. Sometimes it's me having a mental breakdown and just sitting here and not being able to talk or say anything. But that's very rare. That doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen sometimes. So there's that. There's also I don't know, just a variety of things. I have played games on here, but nobody seems to want to see that. They're not here to watch me play video games. That's not fun. Or that's just, I mean, they can just do that everywhere else, right? Like I don't do anything particularly special that I'm aware of when I play video games. My commentary is not very insightful or anything. So, yeah, I'm often confused as to, are you going to go with Lauren from LWWS? I don't know what that is. Am I going to go on with Lauren from LWWS? What's the acronym for that? Who's Lauren? I'm confused. I'll be on it. Whatever it is, I'll be on it. Because it'll just be allow me to preach the great word. It's a great schizoid word. Living well with schizophrenia. Oh, yes, I've heard of them. I am contacting a few people. I have one person that I will be interviewing this Friday that also is schizophrenic and also has a reasonable following. I believe last I checked it was like 100,000 on there plus, and they talk about schizophrenia stuff. But yeah, I'm going to be interviewing them. I believe if everything goes as smoothly, I will be interviewing them on Friday, and it'll be interesting. It'll be cool. I don't. Yeah, yeah. I don't like to say who it is until like I do it, and then you know what I mean. Like once it's all like I recorded, then it's fine. Like I don't know. It's weird. It's like maybe it's a superstition or something. Like I don't want to talk about it until it's like happened, because anything can happen between now and then. You know, like anything can just occur. So, but yeah, there is going to be a. It's a niche topic, but a reasonably sized, much bigger than my own type person that talks about this stuff and their experiences. Which they're not schizoid, but they are definitely schizophrenic. So very very subtle difference in many ways. I'm kidding, but yeah, they're mostly going to be probably expressing their life. I have a bunch of questions for them about their life, their struggles, as well as their issues, and they're very open, so they're willing to pretty much talk about almost anything. So it'll be good. It'll be a good thing. I'm gonna be recording that hopefully on Friday. But so I would. What would you guys say? What would you say? What would you categorize what I do on here as? Is it like some kind of disjointed podcast, or some stream of consciousness? Like chaos, right? I mean, no, yeah, I know, but if you were to like to be able to, like, what is this? Because like I was thinking about it the other day, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like I jump on a stream, I have some thoughts, I say them, and then occasionally other people jump on and they say those thoughts, and then we just kind of ramble and eventually end up nowhere where we started most of the time. Or it gets really silly and goofy by the end and it doesn't make sense when it was like really, really serious or serious early. Or it goes from goofy to serious. And there's no like conventional guests. I have like a semi co-host that's Shadow that shows up, when they can. And they're a person that's schizoid and autistic. And so there's that. I mean, I don't have guests on here. I don't have enough following to get a guest. And even if I did get a guest, it'd kind of be wasted on the stream because, like, I might as well just record a video and upload it because that'll get much more traction. So I don't know what it is. Well, I don't know what I would qualify these. It's not a show. Talk show host? Yeah, like, what am I? Is this a talk show? Is it? That sounds so stupid. Talk shows I feel like require a certain structure. Like, what is this thing? It's really funny. I've been doing these streams for like 2 years, and I never stopped to think about like what the fuck is this? Isn't that weird? Mental health awareness podcast? Yeah, maybe. I mean, I legitimately have been doing the streams for like 2 years. For a while it was just YouTube. Then it was just Twitch. Now I'm doing it on both because I can. And it wasn't until today that I went, hey, what the fuck is this? I mean, it doesn't matter, but so like if I were to put it down like on my like on a piece of paper and say, oh, what are you doing? So, I do streaming. It's like, oh, so you play video games? No, I don't. I stream on Twitch. Oh, you play? No. Oh, you talk about politics? Well, I mean, sometimes it comes up, but not really. So like the stuff you're into, like horror movies and stuff. Well, sometimes it's that. If it organically works its way in. Is it like a mental health thing where you help people? That would be cool, but most of the people that listen to me aren't going to talk about their shit, and they sure as shit don't want me trying to help them. Even though I would gladly help in whatever way I could. What is this, man? Like, what the what is this shit? Alright, so before I get started, I heard group therapy is a Tavistock Institute idea. I don't know what Tavistock is. I'm dumb. Educate me. Um, but yeah. Anyway, that was just me and stuff in my head. Personal life. Doing some job move stuff. We'll see. It'll be interesting. I can't ever talk about details of my job because my job involves me like signing non-disclosures. So I can all I can say is that I do like I basically do the what is it AI training. So and I'll jump from like project to project and stuff. So I don't know, but I can't talk about who it is because it's like a subcontract thing. So I can only say, oh, I work for Invisible Technologies because that's the name of the person who provides these services for various groups that are involved in AI tech or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. That's all I'm allowed to say. So I can't even. It's really interesting. Like because of the NDE or whatever, I can't even put it in like. I can't put in my resume the companies that we like worked under. So I could be like directly working with like this big company, but I'm not. I can't put that in my like my CV, which is like sucky because like man, having those in your resume would look pretty good. But since it wasn't like directly with them, you can't do that. So it's like, oh, okay. So it's kind of funny. Only benefit of it is I've gotten like a lot of different little skill sets, in I guess that little training field or whatever. Because I've worked on different kinds of things and stuff, and it seems I'm going to be working on even more different kinds of things. Of course, I'm very very aware of like the strange kind of somewhat unethical nature of the work I do for some people. Which is like, oh, you took our jobs, your robots took our jobs, right? So, I don't know. I think it's kind of just unavoidable. I'll be honest. I don't think it's fucking air. I don't think it's something that we can, like avoid. So, it's a little bit silly to think you can. I mean, you can like avoid it like as an individual, but like as civilization goes, no, that's not happening. And in this case, it's not going to be a trend. That's for sure. It's staying. It's here to stay. It does too much. It does too much. Okay. So the actual thing I wanted to talk about this Tuesday is boredom. Boredom. I'm bored a lot. I'm bored all the fucking time. Sometimes like it is like an anhedonia issue, but I can usually tell the difference between like one and the other. Like I can usually tell the difference, like because with anhedonia I don't feel my boredom very much. It's just kind of like a you know, it's just kind of like a just I'm still able to kind of go through the motions. And sometimes the anhedonia actually, like, I don't want to say it helps because it's not great, but it helps to do things that I would normally find boring but need to get done because I'm just kind of indifferent to anything I'm doing. So I can't like quite feel the boredom as much. It's just kind of like a weird sort of somewhat disassociated headspace. Well, you put all sorts of lies in your CV. Based. And so yeah, but when I'm bored, I'm actively like feeling it, and it's just this kind of like numb, like just this ugh, like it's negative. It's like Jesus, like wait, that just made me realize I feel anhedonia pretty much all the time, but not boredom. You never feel the boredom. You never go like, fuck, this is so boring. Like, Jesus, stop, please, it's so boring. Dang, super disassociated me. Like, there you go. But yeah, I guess I'm not quite disassociated enough to like not feel my boredom, and I think a lot of it has to do with my ADHD. So it's really easy for me to get bored, even if like the day is going well or I'm generally okay. Because like I'll DPDR diagnosis, I guess. um But yeah, it's just it's like it's just this feeling of like this is not what I want to be wasting my life energy on. Like, what the fuck is this? Why do I have to do these things? Oh, I'm just subject to the chains of like human decision making that they could have actively sought to make a lot different and better, but we're motivated by things that don't make sense to me, and thus I'm like a part of it, and so I have to do all kinds of shit that I think is just fucking mind-numbingly just boring as fuck. And so and sometimes it'll just be like when I'll see like new movies coming out or games or whatever, like especially if they're like really like, you know, big stuff, like I'll kind of like try them, and I'll be bored. I'll just be like, oh, this again, okay, oh, look at that, it's more realistic now, I guess. Like I just I don't know if it's just like depression or what, or if it's just legitimate boredom, but I'm just not excited about very much all the time, like ever. I get excited for, and even the stuff I get excited about, like the moment, like I'm more excited. I feel like I'm more excited about what I'm imagining in my mind it is, and then when I try it, and then I go, well, that wasn't like I imagined it. That's okay, I guess. So then like it's easier to get bored of it. I don't know. It sounds like I got old. No, I've always been this way. I've always been kind of that way. It's not like I used to be like, woo, having love. Life is full of energy and life and love and light and everything's exciting and new. Maybe like when I was like a child, like a little baby, like a fucking, like when I was like fucking 7 years old or something, maybe, or 6, maybe I still had some of that. But nah, it's just always been kind of that way. So I can occupy my time pretty well. I can find things so that I'm not like bored. But I have to keep switching between things because they get boring. Depending on the challenge level and things like that, it's very important to me. Just creating media is one of the things I'm capable of enjoy. I do get excited sometimes, and it can make me feel things in general. Hell yeah, that's amazing. That's always good to hear. But LSD is a good idea. Need LSD. I just need to feel fucking tired all the time. Stop playing guitar after 18 years dead inside, I guess. Okay, well, yeah, that sounds more like on the anhedonia route. But like, sometimes just various aspects of life just seem incredibly boring. Like, you know, just look at certain things, and I'll be kind of interested for a little bit, and then I'll just be like, this is kind of like whatever. Even things that like awe and inspire people, like, you know, like things that, like when they see them, they go like, oh wow, that's amazing. You know, people like will visit landmarks and stuff. Or they'll want to like travel the world to see like the great castle or the thing. And then like in my head, I don't want, that doesn't sound interesting at all. Asta78, hello. That doesn't sound interesting at all. Like if somebody said, here, hey Angst, you want to like a paid trip to go see Buckingham Palace? You know, and we'll make sure that like, you know, you're not in any open spaces, but it's like a free trip to go look at Buckingham Palace. I would just be like, no, thank you. Part of me would like say yes, because like my wife might be very interested in that, my kids, so I would probably say yes for that reason. But if it was just me, yeah, I get it. I'm just naming the Eiffel Tower, the Statue of Liberty, the Babylonian Gardens. I don't know. I just think of or the Aztec or Mayan temples. Like, they're kind of interesting, yeah. I wish I could like teleport there, look at it for a few seconds, and then just go home. Like, that's all. I just be like, oh, that's interesting. It's okay. Is there anything else? No. Okay. I'm gonna do something else now. Cause like I don't know. It's just like a weird. I don't even want to think about like, oh man. Okay, so we gotta pack, get in the airport, do the whole thing, land, deal with jet lag, sleep in some unknown bed, so we can go look at the thing. We need to go look at the thing. And like to me that sounds boring. I'm bored. This is boring. And some of the things that I find boring are probably like, are you crazy? And some of the stuff I would go to like Anne Frank's house or other smaller things, not where the mask goes. Well, I'm pretty sure a lot of people go to Anne Frank's house, but like I wouldn't even want to go to that. Like, why do I want to see Anne Frank's house? It's just a house. It's just a building. Why do I want to go see that? I don't know. Just doesn't sound that interesting. Like I think I would have like more fun going to like, I don't know, like some kind of like interesting convention with like a variety of things, various things there that I can look at and maybe experience or things, conversations that I can maybe have that have interesting topics of some kind. So yeah. It's really odd to me. I mean, there are places that I think I would legitimately find interesting, like various graveyards. Yeah, I'm a spooky boy, but even then, I'd only be interested in going if like we get to do something really nerdy, like have like a bunch of like stupid ghost monitoring crap or something. Something of that nature might actually be of some use. But outside of that, I would say no. I don't really feel boredom because whenever I'm going something boring, my brain it just disengages and goes somewhere else. Yeah, mine can do that. I think so. It's just it can only it does it based on like the stimuli around it for me. So if I have like something like a book I've been reading, or I don't know, like if I had like a cool thing like a Steam Deck or something, then maybe like that would just be fine. I'd probably just resort to that, and then just have internal thoughts pertaining to that thing in front of me that I'm actively using. Yeah, I don't know. It's just some weird thoughts. Like, if somebody told me, oh, would you like to go to this unexplored, abandoned building that is relatively safe, that has a bunch of little secrets in it that no one's ever found because no one's been in here, I'd be like, yeah, I'm down. I'm like, that sounds exciting. That sounds really exciting. I like that. But if it's like, oh, you want to go to this thing that, like, has been picked over, like, a million times forever, and go look at it? No. There's nothing there. It's all been found. I could just read it in a book. I could just watch a video or read it in a book. Why would I want to go to a place that's been picked over countless times? That sounds really not entertaining at all to me. There's just no novelty there, I guess. I don't know. I think like knowledge based or interest based sort of knowledge, like novelty, is like super important. So yeah, interesting. Yeah, so 78. Okay, maybe I hyper focus on various things at like all sorts of given times. If there's people around, I'm not interested. Easy. Well, there you go. Right. I'll gravitate towards things that I find interesting in spite of people. So like if there wasn't very many people there, I'd prefer that. But I'm just such a hound for finding novelty that I will just deal with people. Like it's like oh, I have to expend energy dealing with people that I probably don't really care to talk to. That's fine, as long as there's like a chance that there'll be a providing of interesting conversations, topical in nature, as well as some kind of like interesting activities, actions, whatever, thought provoking things that'll like allow me to kind of daydream and think about and abstract into some position or another that I find interesting, like stuff like that for sure. Like I'm okay with that. I do like to see. Sometimes people watching can be entertaining. So just to see like how I've always, like I've mentioned to everybody, like I've always had a tap 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 tap. I don't know what that means. Tap. No, I mean like why are you tapping? Am I tapping? Like is it tapping? Like am I causing a sound? It's because like my legs are always moving. I'm tapping. Shit. Okay. I don't know what I was tapping. Maybe my feet or something. That's me. That's just like. That's why I usually have this shit, so I don't tap so much. Or anything like this, or this one too. It just depends on my level of just kind of, I don't know, energy and such. But yeah. Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, it's just a thought that's been going through my head. Like I'm like, is this like gonna be my whole life? Like I'm just gonna be like, I feel like I'm just gonna be actively seeking like novelty, like for the remainder of my days, which is okay because there's plenty out there that I know nothing about, so that's good. But there is one aspect of one thing that I find incredibly entertaining, incredibly stimulating and enjoyable. And I don't know why. I haven't been able to figure out why. And and oddly enough, like the irony of it, right, is that it involves people. And it's just kind of strange, right? Like one of my favorite things to do involves people, but people are definitely not one of my favorite things. Not that I don't care about people, I do. It just I that's not like my number one go-to thing that like I super enjoy. But what I do enjoy is showing people things. Right. Of course, there are people that I now enjoy because I've learned to enjoy others in ways that make sense to me and make sense to them. So I do have friends. That's been a learning process, right, to emotionally connect or human connection type stuff. I know I lost my I recently probably lost my schizoid card because I've been kind of recovering from a variety of parts of that PD. Definitely, I'm always going to be depressed, but like I prefer to just be kind of like dysthymic and wanting to like neck myself. That'd be good because like everything feels empty and dead. But in any case, yeah. The thing that I like is showing people stuff. Like I like to show people films. I like to show people videos. I like to show people, just introduce them to things they've never heard of, information, talk about things, and listen to them tell me about things I've never heard of, and then display those things, or show those things, especially if they're in line with their interests, because then it's like, oh, this is a really good use of my knowing about this, right? Sometimes it's fun to watch things with people that I haven't seen, because I like to hear their perspectives and thoughts on it, if they do provide any, or just the act of, I don't know, just the act of doing it or reacting to it as it's occurring. Yeah, it's really odd. Like, I don't know why I enjoy that so much. It's one of those just like some kind of a proxy shit like that I've been doing since I was I don't know, a kid. I've always done that. I've always done that. That was some way to alleviate boredom for me, for sure. Like it would just be, even when I was like, I don't know, 10 years old or something. Like the moment I had like I was playing a new game or something, or I saw a new show, or something really interesting, really cool. Like my first thought would be like, I've seen this thing. I have bore witness. It must spread. Right? It's like a thought like that. This thing must spread. And so then I would like, you know, I would tell the other kids and be like, you have to see this. Come to my house so you can see this thing. And then like I would show them the things, and then I would show them other things. But the moment they didn't want to like just look at new things or just look at things, and they wanted to do other things, then I'm like, no. Then I would be like, you okay? You can go home now. That's kind of like what would go through my head. Oh, can you go home now? I want to do more things that I haven't done by myself. I'm done showing you the things. I'm done showing you things. Can you leave now? Like that's kind of what my thought was as a kid. Right? It's like, oh, I'm done showing you this now. I hope you enjoyed it. You can leave. You can leave, please. Bye bye. I'm gonna go look for new things that I'm eventually gonna ask you to see. And hopefully you have things to show me. Oh, what? You want to just chill and talk about life? What? You want to do homework together? You want to go to the park and meet. You want me to meet your friends? No, thank you. That's 10-year-old me. I just wanted to. No, thank you. Bye. I just wanted to show you this cool game, but this is pre-internet. So like when you found something cool, it was really cool, and there was no way for you to just message it to somebody, or like stream it to them. Like there was just no way to do that. And so if you wanted to show somebody something, they had to they fucking had to be physically there with you. One of the advents of technology that I really appreciate is that I can enjoy this strange sort of activity that I like without having to have people come to my home. Back in my day. No, for real. Hey, how come your text is blue now? Me too. How come you went from orange to blue? Did you change it? Oh, you changed the color. Don't startle me that way. Everyone left. It got boring. Sorry, guys. Okay, let me see here. Laverne, hi. Hi, Laverne. Laverne 44. How are you? Let me see here. Okay, so I'm going to switch over to the other mode or whatever. Oh, that's showing. It always does that. It just shows my stupid thing, and then I have to like change it. And then I have to like change it, and then I have to change it back, and then it shows up. I have to do that before the streams. No, it's purple. It's purple. Yeah, it's like a purple color. Hey, Saren, thanks for resubscribing on Twitch. Appreciate that. Remember, guys, if you want to support my stream, if you like what I talk about, if you like what I do, if you like my YouTube videos, if you like, if you find me rambling like this distracts you from some aspects of the agony of your existence, then please think about getting on my Patreon, subscribing on Twitch, or you could even, if you like, say more into the server, not so much the streams and stuff, and you want to support me because of that reason, you can do that on the Discord now. You can subscribe to my Discord, and like it actually will. Yeah, it'll give me money and stuff that way too. So there's a lot of different options. I just figure the closer the option is to the thing that you're enjoying, the more likely it is for you to, I don't know, do it. I have no idea. One thing I want to do though, guys, is I want to demonetize my YouTube channel, like completely. I'm waiting. I think I need like $50 more because stupid YouTube doesn't let me cash out the money I get from there until I hit $100, and I don't make much money on it, and then it just makes stupid commercials pop up on the YouTube version of this, right? And so yeah, like I just want to demonetize it because even like super chats and stuff on there are worthless. They're just stupid. The way they do it is really stupid. Yeah, I want to just completely turn off monetization on my YouTube channel and my streams on YouTube. I won't turn it off on Twitch, only because their system is actually pretty good. as far as like actually paying out and shit. It's like crazy. YouTube's so bad. It's like nuts. But maybe eventually I'll probably just. I mean, the only reason I like the monetization system on Twitch is because I can like let you guys have funny like emotes and stuff and whatever, just goofy shit. You know, nobody really uses like the whole points thing. I have just it's dumb. It's all stupid. Nobody's here to do that. Nobody wants to interact with me like that. Like nobody cares. I don't even care. So, Karyotype. I want to know that I ordered all. I want to know that you ordered all of the Blame today on your suggestion. I was already considering getting it before since I enjoyed the movie enough and I'd heard good things about the manga. You talked about it, but you tipped the scales. Oh, good. It's fucking incredible. You're going to enjoy it. I certainly hope you enjoy it. While you're reading it, though, I always tell people, like, pace yourself. Really take in each panel because it's really easy to just kind of, like, smash through the panels really quick because there's, like, no dialogue. So this, and then some of the imagery is, like, really kind of, like, fast and kind of unfocused or, like it's hard to tell because the structures are so large. Like, sometimes it's hard to tell, like, what went where at what given time, like who shot who and how they got hurt and where they fell. And there's details in there that will tell you exactly what's happening. It's just that, like, if you just kind of breeze through it, you might not quite catch it all as it's going, because there's a lot of really interesting small movements and details that are being portrayed or shown. There's like subtle things in many of the panels. But anyway, yeah, it's really good. I hope you enjoy it, Karyotype. You won't regret it. Oh yeah. There's plenty. It has plenty of little details in like the behavior, movement, what's said. Like, you know, it's pretty action packed. It's just the action is very. I don't know how to explain it. Like a lot of the things he's fighting are like just like silicon-based life forms, so they're just like machines, man. And so there's like these hyper fast movements occurring between panels in certain fights. Like really fast things are happening, and the artist tried his best to convey that, the speed in which these things are occurring. So it's pretty crazy. Like, because they're happening incredibly fast, even though you're reading panel to panel. You have to imagine that it's going like fucking fast, because these things move like insects almost. And you see how fast insects can be. In any case, yeah, Blame, if you haven't read it. Blame, B-L-A-M-E, exclamation point. Amazing manga. One of my favorites of all time. And, anyway, I got off on the special interest as usual. If anybody wants to jump on the VC, you're more than welcome to. It's not even like reserved to just the Schizoid peeps. Anybody can jump on. If you're new to it and you're not already Schizoid on there, like you didn't go through the application process, all you got to do is DM me and tell me what you want to talk about. Since if it's your first time on there, just DM me, and then like if I'm like, oh okay, that's cool, I can make it so that you can talk. I just have to have that set in place because people will just show up and say dumb shit and stuff and just, you know, fuck around. Yeah, I don't mind fun fucking around. I just don't need people just, I don't know, going crazy or dropping N-bombs on my stream. That's stupid. But if nobody wants to jump on today, that's fine. But if you want to talk about the topic I mentioned, you want to talk about boredom and how you manage it and deal with it and such, and what things consistently can work against it but aren't consistently available. I'd like to know about that too. That's interesting. Tired, mild, anger, rage, tired, sleep, repeat. Same. I only want to share my archive and movies, etc., and that's all. Yeah, I really enjoy doing active research. I like showing people things. I don't know. It doesn't even have. I like telling people things they don't know too. It's actually enjoyable to me. I like telling people things they don't know about. And if they're interested in what I'm saying, it's a plus, because then that means they're learning. They're learning something new. They're they're engaging in something and learning something new. And so to me, that's like really, really cool. Really, really cool. Sorry, family members, extended family in the background. Yeah. No. So yeah. Yeah. Why is this over here? Why is it doing that? Sorry. Oh yeah. Here's an interesting story. If nobody really wants to talk about the whole boredom thing. So I had to get re-evaluated for ADHD again. So that's weird, right? Like I had to do the whole like, oh, you got to get re-evaluated or whatever. Because like I my insurance switched over, and so then like I had to get a new psychiatrist, and it was really funny. It was like night and day, because like when the previous psychiatrist that I didn't like, they left. He just like made me like read a few, like he asked me a few questions, and then he's like, all right, you got ADHD, here you go, blah blah blah, and he was just prescribing me shit or whatever. And then like I get this new psych, and you know what's really interesting is this American, in California, but I got this new psych, and then I'm like, she's like, you know, talking fast, cutting to the chase, being really like engaged in what it is I'm telling her and stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool, like how much, like I asked, like how much experience do you have with like ADHD stuff, and then she's like, well, I have ADHD. I'm like, oh, okay, well, there you go. That's why you're like really very much honed in on it. That's like obviously your career and your special interest. So, oh, 1 second, my baby's going to bed. My little one. My little goblin. I call her my goblin. Goblin princess. She's a little monster. Love her. Yeah, so this person's like doing the whole thing. I'm like, what? Like, I've never had this done. Like, she's like, oh, you're gonna get like, you have to get an EKG. I want to test you for like drugs. I want to see your like all your. I want to see your blood work. I want like all this stuff, and I'm like, wow, okay, like wow, you're getting in. That's kind of cool. And then she's like, yeah, why wouldn't I? She's like, I'm a medical doctor. I'm a psychiatrist. And I'm like, well, yeah, that makes sense. It's just they usually like I've had plenty that don't do any of this shit. And she's like, oh no, I like to make sure I do things right. I'm like, fucking awesome. That's really cool. I'm like, of course it took a neurodivergent doctor to finally get one that makes sense. And so then I had to get reevaluated because I had got diagnosed with ADHD when I was like a kid, and my parents didn't tell me until I was like in my 20s, which is crazy. Well, that's only because like I happened upon it. And but I did the reevaluation test, or the test for the adult ADHD test. Man, that thing gave me a fucking headache, like a bad headache. I had a headache the whole day after I did it. It was terrible. And I think the reason I had a headache was because of the way the test functioned. Like I don't know, like this is what I'm stressed about. I'm stressed that like the test is gonna say, oh look, you did all right, you don't have ADHD, but then like I was trying, like because of the way I am, like I like a challenge, I was trying to like make sure that like I did the things correctly, but then I got a headache. And I know I fucked up on a bunch of stuff, but I tried to like not fuck up very much. And like so the tests for the ADHD, it was like an automated thing, right? Like I go to this website, and then like I had to do stuff like it'll like show like a triangle, and then a square, and then a triangle again, and then a square, and then like it'll be like an orange square and an orange triangle, and then it'll say like, oh, only hit like only hit when like this matches with this, hit spacebar, right? And so they would like show you images like 2 seconds at a time, and depending on the conditions, you had to like hit spacebar. Like do, right? And but like I could feel my brain like wanting to hit spacebar during times that I shouldn't hit spacebar. And so I would resist. I'd be like, no. Like I could feel my impulse to, oh, spacebar time, but I was like, no, it's not. And so it would be stuff like, hit spacebar when you have two shapes with the same color appear once, and then there's a shape between that, and then the same shape appears again. And so when the shape appears a second time, you have to hit spacebar. And then they had other ones where it was like, oh, here's 20 words. Try your best to remember them. They don't expect you to remember them all. And then they would be like, okay, we're going to show you, well, it's 15 words, and then we're like, okay, we're going to show you like 25 words. They're just going to flash on the screen at the same rate. Hit spacebar when you think it's a word that was on the words we just gave you. And it's just a matter of like going, yeah, okay, I remember that. Oh man, that was horrible. Like I couldn't remember fucking any of the words. Like I don't know. I was like, I think, and I was hitting spacebar, maybe. So then it was that, and then another part of the test was where I don't know why, but they had me like button mashed, like spacebar a few times, one on the right, one on the left, one on the right, one on the left, one on the right, one on the left. So I had to do that, and then there was like this one gave me a headache. They showed you like a legend of like a map, but they showed you like a legend of shapes and then associated numbers, and so then like a bottom box would appear, and you had to use your number pad, and you had to like basically use the legend to like put the correct number in for each empty box associated to that symbol. And like basically it was judged based on like how many you get, how correct they are, and so on. And so like I'm sitting there like concentrating, like got this, do, and I felt slow. I just felt so fucking slow because like I kept having like I didn't remember like, and I'm like, wait, I already saw that shit. Wait, what? No, I mean I should have just hit 3. I know 3 is that one. Why did I look at the legend? Fuck. Like, and then I would just like have these really quick nanosecond thoughts or things, and then and I had to do that one, but because I was trying so hard, it's the gamer in me. It's the gamer in me that wanted to like beat it, right? Like I want to do it right, and so like, yeah, I was just like, fuck, no, yeah, I'm focusing, I got this, but it took me so much focus to like. And it was just funny because I'm like, I'm probably not supposed to do that. I'm probably supposed to take this like really calm and casually. I'm probably not supposed to be like, gotta beat the game. And but I still think I did very poorly, even with that in mind. I mean, it says to try your best, and that's what I think I did. I tried my best. And so, but I know, like, it was hurting my brain to do these activities. It required me to do a bunch of stuff that just was just uncomfortable, and I hated it. They had a questionnaire, of course. They had like a whole big old self-report thing. They had, of course, the thing where you pick like which one, this and that. Like there was like matching ones, or symbols too, where they flashed you symbols, and then they would flash other various symbols, and then you had to hit spacebar when you think it was like that's in your memory. There's like a lot of weird memory things, like memory game shit. And it took like an hour. It was like an hour of just shit. And it was, I remember one I hated. I hated it so much. I think I did okay in it, but I hated it because it was so boring. So they had this one test where they gave you a letter at the beginning. It would be, any letter in the alphabet, I'm guessing, or maybe a specific letter. I don't know. You only get to take it once. In my case, it was the letter B. And so then they'd say like, okay, this is the letter you have to remember. And then it would say, okay, so now we're going to show you, we're going to flash for like 1 second different letters. and only hit spacebar when it's the letter B. And this went on for 5 minutes straight, nonstop. And so it was so boring. Like the entire time, there'd be long strings of no B, right? And then the B would pop up, and then you'd be like spacebar. And like I would occasionally drift off while waiting for the B, and then I'd be like, no, the B, I must find the B. And then I'd see the B and I get excited, and I'd be like, yes, the B, B. And I'd be sitting there going like B B B B B B B B B B B B B B B B B B, come on B, come on B B B B B B B B, and then it would pop up again B. But yeah, 5 minutes of that was, it felt like fucking ever for me. That was horrible. And another one that gave me a headache on that test was, it's that thing where it was flashing kind of quick. If the word says blue, but if it's red, like if the word blue is red, you don't hit spacebar. You have to only hit spacebar when the word blue is blue. So it'd be like, you know, a green, yellow, and a red, blue, and all kinds of shit. And only when they matched up did you hit spacebar. And man, that was just like, I had trouble with the whole like, oh wait, it's blue. No, it says blue, but it's not blue. What? No, don't hit it. Don't hit it. So yeah, that was annoying. I did not like that. I did not like that Sam I Am. I did not like green eggs and ham. So yeah. Now I'm getting bored of this stream. Because no one's saying anything. That's the only reason I like, that's one of the things that, like, is amusing to me, is that, like, I find it more interesting if there's people saying things, because I'd rather not hear myself talk all the time, and, but my brain will just fill the void with sound, otherwise, for whatever reason, and so then I get bored of my own streams. Like, I'll get bored. I'll get bored of my stream, just because it'll just be like, oh, okay, just, now what? Like, what are we doing now? Because in my head, like, I'll just be like, okay, I want to go do something else now. This is just whatever. Ugh, fucking boring shit. Because but then when there's a stimulating, interesting conversation of some kind, I will stick around over the time limit. But I tried my best to stay on the 1.5 hour mark, and then just go, okay, time to cut loose, go do something else, because I know I'm just gonna get like kind of done with it after like a certain point, and I don't want it to end like that. I don't want it to end on like a Angst is bored at the end of each stream note. Like, that's fucking lame. So oh, look, everyone left. Maybe they're getting bored. I'm getting bored just as much as you guys. Holy shit, it's working. Plus, nobody jumped on today. What the hell? Everyone's not here. What the fuck is everybody? But it's so random too with the streams. Like, there'll be times where like I'll have like 5 people in here. Today's just like, nope, nobody's here. Womp womp. I'm like, okay. I guess I'll just ramble, but then I get bored. Unless you guys feed me ideas or thoughts, and then that could be fun to ramble about. But I don't know. I could come up with something to talk about, but I don't want to. I don't want to come up with something. I came up with a thing. I brought a thing to the table, and you know, I did the thing. I did the thing. I said the thing. I did the thing. All right. Don't you fucking tell me how to live my life. Yeah, right? So, I did the fucking thing. I did the thing. Alright. Alright. Just sit here quietly for a little while and contemplate horrible existence. All of ours, not just your own. Contemplate the glory that it will be, the dying sun going out or something. So let's do that. You want to talk about butter sausage? I want to know where it comes from. What it's made of. What the hell is butter sausage? I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Is that like an actual thing? Am I being trolled? Should probably butter sausage. Gary Busey buttered sausage. Wait, what? Why is it Gary? Why is Gary Busey associated with butter sausage? Wait, what is this? Is it just some weird meme from like a long time ago or something? Do I not know about this? There's a deep fake of Gary Busey talking about buttered sausage. Hold on. Oh wow, okay. Okay, cool. We're getting fake podcasts now. Maybe I'm a deep fake. That's kind of cool. Uncle Gary. Now it makes sense why you said that. That's hilarious. I had no idea what the. I had no idea what you meant by buttered sausage until now. Gary Busey. Yeah, I know Gary Busey when he was like in actual movies, and then now he's in a bunch of like fucked up dumb movies where he's just like struggling to even be alive for the movie itself. I've seen a few of his like really shitty, like more current films. It's a sight to behold. It started. It all got weirder and weirder after Ginger Dead Man. I think it was Ginger Dead Man. Yeah, Full Moon Productions. Yeah. That's when things got worse and worse for old Busey and his film career. It got weirder and stranger, and he got more and more. I don't know. Cirrhosis of the liver or something. I have no idea. Oh, there's a piece of information I just remembered. So I have the latest hasn't been uploaded, but I do this podcast with this other gentleman named Chase Foxwell and another gentleman called Elijah, and we talk about just like niche kind of weird subjects. And we just did a recording today. I'm not sure what it'll upload, but I'll post it on the server, maybe on YouTube. But yeah, we talked about alien life and extraterrestrial life and just some random ideas pertaining to it, and it got goofy and weird. But I thought it was really fun. I was talking about my my grand unified theory regarding all things paranormal. And it's like, and how like creepy and scary it kind of is if something like what I believe is true, because based on like my beliefs regarding like the paranormal, you know, everything from aliens to Bigfoot to Mothman to possibly various hauntings and stuff. Uh, I talk about it a little bit, but I didn't get into it. But I have a belief that all of it is coming from the same place and the same source, which are extra dimensional beings, just using us for whatever kind of resource we can accumulate. That's like psychic in nature, like some kind of psychic resource, something that requires like consciousness in this dimension that they need us to like surrender on occasion. Maybe fear. That'd be interesting. Fear, or just emotions. Something that might not exist. Because like I was like, what would a highly advanced, highly intelligent alien life from a different dimension want from their like? Because it started with the idea of like, okay, like what would motivate alien life to even pursue exploration, and much less trying to find us. And one of the guys there, Elijah, he was talking about how like he believes in some kind of like imperial aspect, like an imperial resource based kind of like civilization. Either it's that or they're basically living out gay space communism or something like that. And then I was just thinking about like, no, because like if they're able to travel, I mean it's already been discussed how impossible uh like how impossible it is to travel at the speed of light with organic beings in any kind of sustainable way, and all kinds of other issues with it, especially when you're talking about time. Like even if you manage to do it by the time the people return from whatever other galaxy spanning event, like they might return to like a dead planet because like so much time has gone by, so it won't matter. So it's kind of like whatever research they might accumulate from said event will probably be ultimately irrelevant by the time they get back, if in fact they ever do. Um, but no, the thing was, it's like, okay, so if there's alien life and it's that advanced, like it's probably completely post scarcity. They probably have all the resources they ever needed. Why the fuck would they bother um having any kind of expansive empire unless they're doing some Promethean shit, which is like, okay, maybe. But then I was like, and then we started talking about okay, will blow your mind. Jason Breachers lives literally 45 minutes away from me. It's crazy. He's a simulationist, published author, researcher, podcaster. Oh well, if you're on the server, link me up. That sounds interesting. But no, but so then I was thinking about it, and I'm like, oh wait a minute. What if you had a resource gathering species, but it's not within our own dimension, right? It's like a resource gathering species that requires something very unique that exists in this dimension that would be useful to them in that fourth, fifth, whatever bullshit. And I'm like, and it has to do with our consciousness, because now there's like research talking about how consciousness like might not actually exist fully in this dimension. Like there's all this wacky stuff. And so then I'm just thinking, I'm like, huh, like what if all these things can just formulate or make themselves look like a variety of things, and none of them are actively real. So like maybe everything from Mothman to Bigfoot itself is not real. The Jersey Devil, everything in cryptozoology, it's not real by our conventional standard, but it's something else shaping itself into a variety of things, and some kind of species or various species maybe. And it's just interesting to think about, because then I'm like, huh, that would actually explain why there's so much variance, right? Like some people might say, oh, it's because it's all just hallucinations and schizophrenic people just making shit up or having like, I don't know, mass psychosis with each other or something. And so yeah, fine. Some will chalk it up to that, but then I started thinking, okay, assuming it's not that, right? Assuming it's like legit, like they're actually seeing shit. Like, why is it that like there isn't a consistency in the type of things that are being seen? And why is it region based? Why is it cultural based? Right? Like, why are these things very much still connected to the culture and the beliefs of the local area or the individual person? Right? Why do alien abductions and alien encounters look like so many different things, right? Like there's like, like fucking 20 different kinds of species that people have supposedly like encountered and communicated with. Everything from like the Nordics to the reptilians to the Greys, and the Greys are associated to this, to the Venusians, and like there's just like a bunch of all these races, right? And I'm like, this just seems so like the lore is just getting too complicated. This lore just doesn't make any fucking sense. It's too complicated. And then I think about it. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what if all these things are the same thing? Right? What if Mothman and the Greys and the a Banshee and like or what have you, demons? What if it's all the same shit? It's just like it's just some other kind of life in a different dimension, feeding on whatever sentient life exists in this particular dimension in our universe. So we might not even be the only ones dealing with this, right? Right. And if they could, and if they can basically travel, if they're traveling or communicating or living in a different dimension entirely, maybe the rules of distance wouldn't apply the same way, right? They might be able to like reach one end of the universe and the other quite easily, or it would require gates or something to be established, right? And then I started just getting really schizo, really bananas. And when I say schizo, I don't mean like in a derogatory way. I mean like that's how like my mind goes. It starts just disassociate, like loose associating and just going to one abstract meta concept to the other. And so then I started thinking about, I'm like, wait a minute, like, okay, because somebody else said something on the podcast where it was like, oh yeah, like that they have an idea that a lot of this like UFO stuff started with like Aleister Crowley and certain like actions they took with Jack Parsons and opening the Black Lodge or some shit. Because abductions aren't aliens, they're evil humans with skinwalker anomalies or genetic experiments. Ghosts or demons are real, though, I think. Yeah, but what if they're all the same thing? That's my point. Like, they're all just the same entities, right? That can do this and just take whatever shape is required in order to gather whatever, consciousness-based resource that is useful to them. Maybe it's food. Like, it's just creepy to think like maybe we only exist in this dimension so that we have consciousness that somehow produces something. We're like, what if we're just a bunch of farms? It was just we're just getting farmed for shit in another dimension. We're like fucking cattle. But anyway, that's funny. But then yeah, I was just thinking about like all that sort of stuff. I was like, oh, okay. But they said that about, and then humans, or what if these things weren't originally here, right? And other kinds of sentient life, or maybe like we're one of the only ones in the universe that actively sought out to like, due to our individual sort of evolutionary psych, we sought out like answers to like existential questions, to things outside of ourselves, to higher powers, right? And in the process of like believing in these things and thinking they were real and actively like using our thoughts and consciousness to like put heavy consideration into it, and then producing occult practices and rituals in order to essentially contact things. Like it's just funny to think about like humans, having like a certain goal, very typical of humans, having a certain specific goal, and then going, oh, okay, so we want to contact angels, right? We want to contact angels, and they have all this process, and they have all these thoughts and beliefs, and they're just talking to the same type of thing. Like when you talk to an angel and you talk to a demon, you're getting the same shit. You're just getting a variant, right? That's producing some other or gathering some other kind of intel or resource on us. Like it's just interesting. Oh, it'd be really interesting. Okay, this was a cool thought. It just popped in my head right now. So what if like instead of it being like an alien life form, it's just us, right? What if like consciousness, like it's just part of like the process. Developing consciousness is like part of like the life cycle of whatever actual beings we are and develop into. And so then it's just like humans in this new form propagating some kind of belief systems and spiritual thought, and that kind of need for exploration, that need for wonder, and believing in something greater that develops the consciousness that eventually turns into one of them. And like then it's us just actively trying to like basically we're still like babies, we're like children, because we're stuck in this dimension currently, until we, essentially born into that one. Like, it's just our own species that we're interacting with. So the Mothman's just a human, and that's taking the form of a Mothman thing, but it's not a human anymore because it's like a fourth dimensional thing. I don't know. Yeah, that's fun. That's fun. I like to think about that. It's a fun thing to think about. Anyway, yeah, I just I don't know why I'm talking about this, but yeah, it's just so popped into my head because I talked about that a little bit on the podcast. I didn't get quite as deeply into it because I had to, like, obviously other people have to talk. It's me and like two other guys. So, but it helped me develop some of those ideas. Like hearing them talk about what they thought, um, helped me put together these new thoughts about these things. No, but it's kind of crazy. We are cattle. War taxes, yeah, I get it in a material sense. Yeah, I get that. That's fine, active. But it's just interesting to think that like the process, that the people that treat us like cattle in this world are still cattle themselves to something else. What if you die and then wake up as a new person until you have lived every life ever, and then transcend to the next level of consciousness? I mean, there's that, right? Maybe it takes all that to produce one more new trans-dimensional being. Like it requires like a single soul to basically go through the entire like world process, and like that's how you, that's like basically like the process of living various lives is just like a part of the life cycle of this thing, this species that we're actually a part of. Like being human is just a part of, like, it's actually like a larva stage. Like, what if this is just larva stage? Some kind of larva stage. It's interesting. I mean, it makes sense, right? If this was like a really visceral, very, very material, very gross larval stage. It's interesting. Very interesting. Enough to drive you crazy, I tell you. Um, yeah, and that's when I have to, that's the kind of stuff where I have to hit the brakes. Hit the brakes, bro. Hit the brakes just for a little bit. It's fun. Hit the brakes. And I feel like a lot of people out there that are on the schizo spectrum, um, that would be considered schizotype or whatever. I'm just LARPing as a human, just passing through. Human. But I think a lot of the people, I think a lot of schizospec people think like me. But I think some people are like, obviously, similar to autism. They're like a little, like it's a little stronger. It's a little stronger, and it's made even worse by the fact that we don't really have people to mirror. We don't have people like us to like learn from, to how to navigate, control our impulses, know how our thinking works. There's like a lot of that stuff's just not actively available for people like us, and so then we're kind of left to our own devices trying to figure out life and existence. Similar to how a lot of autistic people have to live. Luckily for them, things in many ways are changing in that department. But for the schizospectrum people, I don't. That's not. It's not quite there yet. It's not quite there yet. And so we don't have teachers. We don't have literally teachers that tell us how to like manage our very kind of very different set of emotions and thoughts and thinking, for schizospectrum people. And so, like, I can see why it devolves to quote unquote madness, because any kind of any human will devolve to madness if they're not given something to replicate, be a part of, or understand, or be able to construct in their mind regarding their behavior. And which, I mean, uh, I if you leave a human in a fucking jungle, if you leave a human in a jungle and you keep providing it food and give it like without its knowledge, keep it alive or whatever, or him or her alive, they're gonna be feral. They're gonna have like a much higher intellect than all the other animals in the jungle, but they're gonna be feral, right? They're gonna still be seeking. They're gonna be feral, but they're also gonna still be seeking like things higher than themselves. They're gonna have these curiosities and wonders, even if they're not gonna be very highly developed, because I mean all they have to work with, or they're gonna be constructed around just their environment, the physical environment. So it's just crazy to think that, like, yeah, yeah, and so like when you have neurodivergent people that like, yeah, they just don't have a lot to work with, and so yeah, of course, many times it devolves into mental illness and occasionally madness. You know, just falling down that rabbit hole. There's nobody to catch you. There's nobody to go, hey, like, hey, slow down, kid. I get where you're coming from. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to like loose associate like that, and everything feels kind of like it's all connected. But it is all connected. It's just not as connected. Like your emotions, the emotionality you place upon these connections isn't really like as relevant as it may feel sometimes. Like having that person, that teacher, early in life, could I think could save tons of lives. Could help so many fucking schizospectrum people. It's just unbelievable. Instead of just diagnosing them and putting them on meds so they don't see things, or their thinking slows down. So let's give you some so your thinking doesn't. How many Zoids are only child versus siblings? I wonder. How many Zoids are only child versus siblings? I've seen most of them are they have siblings. Most of them have like families, siblings. They're usually just not very connected to their siblings, or maybe they're connected to one sibling, or they're connected to like one parent or one part of one family member, maybe two, but that's it. And then strangers, as far as strangers go, sometimes they'll have like one friend that they're close to, uh, that respects their boundaries and differences, and then like they'll be totally disconnected from their family, but they'll have like a friend that they've known a lot of their life, that that's all they have, um, and things like that, but they're still like seeking other things. Or sometimes they have like a partner, so they do have a romantic partner, but that's it. There's like nobody else that they can connect with, and that's just happenstance. And then you have the ones that have no one, just nobody, because they either didn't come across anyone neurodivergent, or having high enough openness in their own family or their own environment, and so they didn't come across anyone. And hopefully they find somebody on the internet, because on the internet, especially like you go to like certain neurodivergent circles and places, you can probably find people there for sure. And then you can find that connection that you so desperately need, even if it like takes the shape of a very unconventional way. Like it takes the shape of something that has being a person that has like borders, boundaries that are similar to yours, respect, emotional connections to unconventional things that are similar to yours, and things like that. It's especially going to be hard for like the schizoid to find that, somebody who develop those kinds of defenses. But there's plenty of neurodivergent people that didn't develop those particular defenses. They developed kind of other ones, and so they might have an easier time connecting to another person, as long as that person is a compatible type of person to them and their thinking. So they might have an easier time just clicking. Schizoids will have still a bunch of like hurdles to go over and deal with, depending on their ability to do that and their willingness to suffer and be uncomfortable for the purposes of accomplishing that task. Because you rise and fall when it comes to that stuff. It's not easy. I don't want to say rise and fall. That implies good and bad, but it's more complicated than that. I don't know. Anyway, guys, it's 8:30. I'm gonna end the stream. Thanks for hopping in. Thanks for being here. It just ended up being me rambling for an hour and a half because I didn't have anyone to converse with today. And but hopefully next time, I'll be back on Thursday. It'll be well. That's why I worry about this one. So by Thursday, I'm like really tired. So I do head empty Thursdays. So you guys have to bring me something to talk about, whether it's chat or somebody in VC. Otherwise, I'm just gonna chill. I'm just gonna chill, and everyone can just leave, because like But if you guys bring me stuff to talk about, I'll definitely engage with it and think about it and stuff. That's fun. But yeah, I don't. Thursdays I'm just so worn out, and then Saturdays is when sometime during the week I'll post a question for the schizoids on the server, and they can answer it anonymously through a system we have there. And if they do that, I read those answers to the question I posed, which I'll probably post tomorrow on the server. And then and that's interesting because then I get like engagement like that, and I get like something to talk about and an interest, and I get different perspectives from people that are like in some respects maybe similar. Their experiences are similar to mine. They may be nothing like me, but their experiences may be very, very similar or relatable. All right, guys. But if you want to support me, please support me on Patreon. If you don't like Patreon, support me on Discord by subscribing to the server. Or if you see that the boosts are getting low on it, please boost it. It's always nice, but we already have a ton of boosts because I put a call to action out there and some people responded, and I appreciate that. We want to keep those boosts all the way up so that, one, it lends to the credibility of the server, and it looks like it's an active server. Two, I like having the signature link to the server, and three, we get better audio for streaming and the PC and everything else. So that's always nice too. And we get more emotes if we want them, or whatever, like options. But yeah, and if you don't like Discord and you don't like Patreon, then PayPal Direct works. And if you like Twitch, then you can subscribe to me on Twitch. That works too. Remember, Amazon Prime, if you already have it, you get a free subscription to any Twitch person through them. You just got to figure out how to do it, and then you can use that code every month to give it to me so that I get that $2 from Jeff Bezos. So if you want Jeff Bezos to give me $2, just do that. Yeah, that's it. All right, thanks a lot, guys. Oh, last thing. If anybody's on the server and wants to watch this really weird fucking comedy horror thing that I haven't seen, it's like a new movie. It's called. Well, I'll just post it, but it's a new movie. It came out this year. That's just like weird and goofy. It's Lovecraftian horror, and it just looks weird. Just silly. And I'm gonna watch it. I think I'm gonna have like 2 people there to check it out. If anybody else wants to join to watch it, we generally just play the movie and then just kind of chill and watch it. We don't like, we don't. Occasionally somebody will say something, but usually it's pretty quiet. Maybe a little discussing it after if anybody wants to. But yeah, that's about it. All right, peace out, guys. And as usual, when day is dark, always remember